The Knicks are back. Staten Mellow. This dedicated to my city, New York. Official kings in the court. Reach for the ball, a hard lesson gets taught. So bring your skills to the nearest playground. No clown around. Catch a helmet in a minute on a New York playground. The Big Apple's what they call it for short. And basketball is our sport. We play for keeps and never settle for sure. So bring your game when you come to my town. We snatch and crowd. You get embarrassed on the court after you shook to the ground. You get respected when you prove you get down. So say the joke for the clowns. And NYC, we known to go a few rounds. This is a city where you're forced to go hard. You'll get booed out of Dodge and shown the door being the weakest on squads. Rucker Park and summer nights, they stay live. Brothers play for the pride and bragging rights on who's the king of NY. So grab the pill and prepare to go hard. Pick your 12-man squad. Orange and blue, better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me.
New York City, sing it with me. Will, Stills the Great. Knicks Talk Nation Radio, back for another episode. You know, live from New York, man. Coming off a tough loss tonight, man. You know what I mean? We played well. You know what I mean? We lost to the second best team in the NBA tonight, man. The Phoenix Suns. We lost to the tune of 118 to 110, you know, behind a monstrous game by Devin Booker, and their record whenever he does go over 30 points is they're like 9-2 or something like that. Like they don't lose whenever he definitely goes over 30. And he was aggressive tonight. You know what I mean? Devin Booker led the way for the Suns with 33 points. And Derrick Rose led the way for the Knicks off the bench with 22 points, 6 boards, and 6 dimes. What did you see in tonight's game, Will? I mean, obviously the streak is broken. It wasn't like they didn't try hard, but you know, it was a tough. They lost to a good team tonight. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a tough game. It's a lot of pressure trying to keep that streak, and once you go so many wins, teams want to break your streak.
100%.
Like you said about Randle, he could have gave us a little bit more. You know, if he's gonna be, he made a couple threes, like I said, and we could have kept going to him, but they started picking up the D on him. Like you said, I noticed they picked up the pressure a lot on him. So shout out to D Rose.
Yeah, shout out to Derrick Rose, man. He definitely was looking like his old self. You know, he's been playing well this season for the Knicks. He's been playing well off the bench. You know what I mean? But tonight's game kind of showed us what we are missing as far as in the starting lineup, like a real floor general. Like you seen it on the other side with Chris Paul. You know what I mean? He took over in crunch time at the end of the game. He made big plays. He made some big shots. That wild circus shot that he made kind of made it tougher for us to come back. But it kind of showed us what we're missing. You know what I mean? And heading into the playoffs, that's something for us fans and I think for the team to kind of look at. You know what I mean? Because right now the team is great. We overachieved. We won 34 games. We lost 28 games. But, you know, it's just, you know, little things that we're missing to kind of put us in the elite class. Right now, we dropped down to 5th place in the Eastern Conference with this loss because Atlanta kept winning. You know what I mean? Atlanta kept winning. And, you know, we didn't capitalize off of them losing to us and losing Trae Young. You know what I mean? Because that was a tough game that we won that we kind of got lucky because Trae Young got hurt because he was carving us up as well on the defensive end. But nonetheless, man, we got a lot to talk about today, man. I wanted to introduce a little contest, man. I don't know what you thought about this, but I just wanted to put it out there, man. You know, we got about 11 more games left in the season. And I wanted to put it out there, man. How many games above 500 do you think that the Knicks finish during this regular season? I want to put like a little friendly wage up. If people want to participate, you can Venmo or you can Cash App us at $ Bars and Hoops Radio. The person that gets the correct answer or persons that get the correct answer, we give you a prize. You know what I'm saying? But we need everybody to participate in that. But how was you feeling during this current win streak, Will? Like, has your expectations changed from the beginning of the year?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That's a great question because remember on the other show we were saying how, once a team do good, you want them to do more. It's like you said it just now. We didn't even expect them to be where they are.
Nah.
So we have to pay attention to that and not ask for more than what we even knew we was gonna have.
Yes.
So
Shout out to that Facebook user. They said that Atlanta lost tonight, so we still tied for fourth. Pardon me.
that's dope. I like to hear that because I didn't like to hear we went to fifth. But I was watching the game and they were saying we could fall to seventh depending on wins or losses.
Oh, God.
And yeah, so it's still serious, and I think they know that. And like we just was saying, it's a fact that we did not know where the Knicks was going to be or be this good. So in this game, if even coaching, when a player starts to do good, you want him to be great now. You know what I mean? It's like give him a chance. Cool. We do need a point guard. We do need to tweak some things, but besides that, think about the upside. We got young guys competing with teams that's in second place in the West.
Yes. And Obi Toppin is coming into his own now. I don't know if you noticed it. He's coming into his own. And that's the scary part. Like, as a lottery pick, we didn't even get to really feature him like that this year because of the year that Julius Randle is having. So once he get a season under his belt, he get more comfortable with the speed of the NBA game.
Oh, shout out Obi Toppin.
Word up.
For real, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Obi. He's coming along. He's sticking to the system. That's all you got to do. The young guys stick to it.
100%, man. So I'm loving it right now. I mean, with me, I had my expectations high from the beginning of the season, man. I told people off the rip, 40 games. I was like, we probably going to fall into the 7th seed, and we're going to play Brooklyn in the first round of the playoffs. That was my initial thoughts. Now, after watching them, my expectations has risen. Like, I'm expecting more from them now because they're showing that they're more than capable of playing good basketball. And Thibodeau is he was like the missing piece because this is basically the same team that they had last year outside of the rookies that they got. And that addition to Derrick Rose is almost the same thing. You know what I mean? And they're winning. And they're doing it without Mitchell Robinson, who was supposed to be a big piece.
That's what I was going to say. I'm glad you said that. That was part of my things I was writing down. Like, we doing this without Mitch.
Yes. Yeah, without Mitch. And Nerlens Noel, he's definitely showing that he was worth every penny that we paid for him in the offseason. He could have went to better teams, but he chose to come to the Knicks because he believed what they were doing. And we need more people. Oh, we got a caller.
But he's like a ball. He's a baller. He's a baller that's coming out.
Hold on, we got a caller. Bars and Hoops Radio. Who's this? Caller, you there?
I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yep, hear you now. What's going on?
Oh, man, it's the bearded one, man.
Pop, what's going on, champ?
Yeah, I said everything is good, man. Tell Hard Willis it was popping.
Hard Will, you hear him?
Yo, what's good, bearded one?
I can hear you.
Uh-huh.
Yo, I'm going to tell you.
Uh-huh.
They played the way they're supposed to play.
They did.
But like you said, they are missing that extra hand.
Yes, that point guard, that floor general.
Yeah.
You've seen the difference with Chris Paul. Chris Paul showed you the importance of a point guard. It's just like in football. If you don't got a good quarterback, I don't care how much talent you got on the receiving core. If you can't get them the ball, what good are your receivers? You know what I mean?
Let me tell you.
What's good?
And I'll tell you this.
Uh-huh.
Tom Thibodeau
is
the Tom Coughlin 2.0.
He said,
I wouldn't be shocked he squeezed a ring out of these cats in the next 2-3 years.
Shout out to the bandit one. We got to drop a ball for that one.
Yeah, that was
fire. They're going to get the what?
I'm telling you, they're going to get a chip. I got a feeling, and I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you why. He got them playing old school, hard-nosed, in-your-face basketball.
100%.
And the difference between him or them and like other teams like the Nets and all of that, they try to do it with finesse. But when they get too hard, you notice because they don't want to do it.
Yes.
It's supposed to be easy. Did you see the way Kevin Durant stepped in that game yesterday?
Oh, God, man.
And not for nothing, we've seen them kind of come apart at the seams. And it's not gonna be we playing a playoff game and Kyrie got to take time off for personal reasons.
Yeah.
And I feel like you know what? They're vulnerable.
They are vulnerable, but we got to be realistic too. Like KD scored 30 points off the bench yesterday and beat this team that we just lost to. So that says a lot.
Star power.
Offensive, star power. You know what I mean?
So what's the Knicks cap situation coming up?
Oh, we got all the
they got money.
Yeah, they got money. They own all of their draft picks.
And you think nobody gonna want to sign there?
Nah, people are gonna. That's what I'm saying. People are gonna want to sign here now, but it gotta be the right player because I don't think that everybody can play under Tom Thibodeau. You coach, so you know some players don't like to be coached hard. And I just don't think that these players of the NBA today, not all of them can handle a coach like Tom Thibodeau. You got to be built a certain way to play for him. That's why Derrick Rose and them love him.
Well, I tell you what, just recently I was watching a thing on Julius Randle, and he talked about, the short stint that he did with Kobe Bryant in L.A. And he said that he believes Kobe's super proud of him, and he think that if Kobe was still here, he'd have probably came to one of the Knicks games just because of the season that he's having.
Facts. Rest in peace to the Mamba. And shout out to Pop for that one because that is true, and he's been playing in those Kobe's lately too.
And on top of that, that just goes to show why he probably could take the hard coaching because Kobe was raw.
Yeah.
He was raw. He'll curse you out. Remember, he told the other dude, he said, I can't wait to see which one of y'all is going after the trade deadline.
Exactly. Hardwood, what's your thoughts on that?
I think we need, like he's saying, we need balance. You said it too. We need somebody that's going to come in and play a role of a good point guard.
Yes.
And don't mess up the chemistry that we have. That's very important if you're already doing good. But it's a lot of players who got a lot of talent who could fit in our system. They just got to be more similar, like a Nick, I think, personally. Like Randle fits the description of a Nick. Quickly, to me, a lot of these players fit the description of a Nick. So let's get another player that fit the description that could just handle that pill. Peyton is easy to replace, though, bearded one. Honestly, no disrespect to Peyton.
I got one.
Who is it?
Steph Curry.
I'm about to hang up on you. You're trying to mess with us.
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Why are you even doing that tonight? Of all nights,
yo,
Steph Curry.
Curry not coming to the Knicks.
He know that too. Curry. He know that too.
He know that.
No, he know that. Listen.
Come on, bearded one. Give me a realistic player that we could put at that point. Not Curry. Somebody that we could that could fit.
Well, see, here's the thing. The problem is that most of the good people are locked up.
That's a fact.
That's really the issue. If you're not going to bring them together, I really feel like they need to give Quigley, give it to him.
Yeah.
Give him the keys.
Nah, he's not it. He's not a point guard. He's not a point guard. He's a Lou Williams type of guy. He's an instant offense type of guy. He's not.
He can run the point still. He's just young right now. Yeah, he can run the point.
Making tonight, though?
I say it again.
Did you see his decision making in the crunch time tonight? He was, he was settling like he'll shake his man and then step back behind the 3-point line and shoot the three. Come on,
you gotta go.
You're supposed to go to the basket.
But he's a rookie.
He is a rookie. Shout out to Hardwood.
Give him, you got if he's a rookie, you gotta go by upside. Okay, I'll give you a great example. They did the same thing to Barrett. Remember?
Yes.
The last year, everybody was giving up on him.
Yeah.
I'm like, he was a rookie. What are you talking about? You have to look at the upside of a player.
Yeah.
Not just, like we said early, we tend to get greedy once we see we got something. Now we want him to be an all-star like this. That's the Knicks' old problem. We like that too. We like management used to be. We start trading people. Because they ain't doing nothing fast enough.
No, man.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
What about Lonzo Ball?
That's what I said. I said that.
Yeah, Harville said Lonzo Ball. Yes. I like Lonzo Ball because he does play defense. He's a floor general, and he doesn't need to worry about scoring the basketball. He's looking to facilitate all day, every day. he's a good guy and they already projecting him to come here. This is why he's going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season. So he can walk on New Orleans and they going to let him walk because they want to put all their eggs in the Zion Williamson basket. And we all know Mudfoot going to end up in New York sooner or later.
Yeah. You see what he said?
Yeah, and you know.
I love to play here other than New Orleans.
Yeah, facts. And you know, he wanted to come here during the draft. You seen his face when he got selected by the Pelicans. He was like, damn.
That's a fact. He was like, I'm gonna just do it, in other words.
And his best friend, his
I'll be honest.
On our team.
I like him, but I don't know. I like Randle. Not better than Zion, but for the Knicks, I like Randle because Zion, his body, his weight, he ain't gonna have a long career if he don't slim down some.
That's a fact. And
you got to spend money on your body like LeBron did. See KD, his arms like twigs. He going out because somebody bumped into him. How you think that's gonna go far?
He had a contusion just from bumping.
Yeah, this nigga his arms like mine. Come on, son. You got 90 million and you come on. You could pay somebody to tell you what to eat.
I tell you this. This is the part of the game that a lot of the guys seem to not understand.
Yeah.
Is that if the longevity comes in, the better you take care of yourself. That's like how long Julius Randle been in the league now?
It's going on 8 years.
This is going on 8 years. Usually he's a journeyman at this point.
That's a fact.
But you know what? He showed up. And I can guarantee it's probably what he was doing in the offseason.
That's a fact. Nah, he came back in great condition, chiseled up. He lost some of the little body fat that he did have last year. He stopped turning the ball over. He's making better decisions as a playmaker now. So that's a direct effect of Tom Thibodeau. And just to backtrack a little bit, because we both mentioned Zion and Julius Randle. Mm-hmm. A former Knick, Charles Oakley, decided to stick his nose in our business. As he said that Julius Randle is a better version of Zion Williamson. What's your thoughts on that, Hardwell and Pop?
He said,
I tell you what.
Gaggle, you first,
I'm going to go first and then I'm going to get off the air.
Yeah.
I will say this. I can't really agree with the comparison. I feel like Julius Randle got more of a round game. Like I got more of a roundabout game. I feel like his game is more well-rounded than Zion.
Yes.
And the only reason Zion is even looking partially great is just his physical attributes. He's young. But to me, he's like Blake Griffin 2.0. Julius Randle.
Nah, I don't agree with that because you have to go by what you seeing right away.
Yeah.
And he's already the number one scorer on his team. He's already leading a ball club by himself, like not by himself, because there's some good ball players over there. My bad, I don't always say it like that. But what he's doing already, if he get his body in shape, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a left-handed dude who could shoot the three and he could dribble the ball, and he's coming at you fast like a bull, and then he gonna jump over you. Like this kid has been dribbling the ball. Nah, he's way better than Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin never could really shoot the ball.
Now.
No, even when he was even
Blake Griffin when he was jumping through the gym, he could shoot too at one point.
He's not. He's way better than Blake Griffin. Way better. Trust me.
I mean, we talking
this
about
boy, he gotta still prove himself though, because I know why you. No, I know why you feel that way, because Blake has a whole career. So Zion still has to, have a career for us to just say that. But if Zion stays not being injured, what he's doing right now already, it shows like he already is on a pace to do very well.
Well,
so one of the reasons that I drew up the comparison also is the knee injuries early.
Yes.
Yeah, because his weight. That's why I said no. That's why I said Pop, his weight. If he don't get his body in shape, then I said I like Julius Randle for that factor, because we talking longevity, right?
Okay.
But I don't think Randle is no way near better than Zion, because we remember when Randle first came in, they wasn't talking about him like Zion or doing. He wasn't doing what Zion did. No. This is what we have to compare by. We can't just look at what it took Randle to do 8 years to do, and Zion is doing that now. Like, that's something you can't deny or ignore. Let's keep it 100.
And shout out to one of the Facebook users. They said the second star in the offseason, see about the snitch, D'Angelo Russell for cheap. Yo, you know what though?
He would be a good point guard.
Yeah, he would be a great point guard for us. I like D'Angelo Russell coming out.
Whoa. Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off. Stills, that might mean something is brewing, Stills.
It probably is, but you got to remember.
Because Thibodeau,
Towns,
and now they talking about
D'Angelo
Russell.
That was somebody tuning in, watching us right now that threw that out there. But I always wanted D'Angelo Russell because he's a great facilitator and he's a good shooter. And I think that he would probably fit here. But remember, him and Julius Randle was on the Lakers together. The Lakers drafted had both of them. And then
you also got that other cat, Markelle Fultz. You wouldn't give him a shot?
Hell no. Nah. You remember we had the conversation you wasn't on the first conversation we had with Chris Miles from NBA TV.
I was there.
He was talking hella trash about, watch, this kid Markelle Fultz is going to put everybody to shame, I'm telling you. And as of now.
He could play, though.
He's a run-of-the-mill guy right now. He's not.
He could play.
He's not number one overall pick status, and that's what he was selected as, number one overall.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man, but it remains to be seen, man. It definitely remains to be seen. But let's talk about.
Well, y'all continue to show on, man. Get over. I want to top the line.
Facts, man. Good looking on the call, you heard?
Peace.
All right, let's get it.
All right.
Peace.
So let's get to this other conversation, man. The topic of the week has been Julius Randle for MVP or most improved player. Now, remember a couple of weeks ago, I was saying this, screaming at the top of the mountaintop, like, look, he is an MVP. He's a legit MVP because if you remove him from the Knicks aren't in nowhere near fourth place. They're not even sniffing a playoff berth without him. Everybody else that you name, if you take them from their team, they got a second legitimate star. The only other person that they're talking about for MVP right now is Steph Curry, and he's in the same predicament that we in. He got nobody else to really ball, but he got players over there that's better than some of the average players that we have here on the Knicks. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they're going to give it to Steph Curry.
What?
I think so, because the way he's putting up them numbers, Randle, you said it just now, he's doing the same thing. If he had a team doing it, then they could probably look at Randle and say, but now it's kind of like it's too close because Curry don't have help. And I guess Curry woke up and said, yo, I got to just play my game, light it up. We not winning nothing. We not going far maybe, and just let me go crazy.
Well,
I respect Curry.
But hard will, man. The Knicks weren't expected to do anything this season. They was ESPN had them projected to only win about 27 games. Wow. 27. Now the Knicks are in the top 10 ESPN power rankings.
Whoo.
Come on, crazy. Man. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I would vote. I would vote for Randle.
I'll go for Julius Randle all day.
I would too, but I'm just saying who they probably give it to because of what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a popularity contest, man.
Yeah, he's popular, and look what he's doing. He's putting up crazy numbers, like crazy. Now, if Julius Randle would have went on a longer streak, maybe, depending on what we do now, we gonna see.
So now, I'm going to say this now. If the Knicks lock up the fourth seed in the home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs, you got to give it to Julius Randle because right now, the Warriors ain't even going to sniff the play. They're not even making the playoffs.
Wow, yeah, that's big.
Take it on team success. You got to give it to Randle over Steph Curry or anybody in the NBA for that matter.
You're right. You know why? Because they wait a while before they let the vote in or however, and then they want to see what you do.
Exactly.
So you got a good point with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to consider him. I mean, he got most improved player on lock.
No, but they're gonna wait and see what they do, though. Like, Stills, we have to let it play out. Then I guess you could say that fairly, because if Randle drops and they give it to Curry, then Curry deserves it. If you neck and neck and they watching, you got to keep going. Randle got to keep going.
They not making the playoffs. They not making the playoffs in the West. That's my whole point. The Knicks
That's a good point.
Are gonna make the playoffs, regardless even if they drop after this road trip, they still are going to make the playoffs. And they may have a good chance of winning the first round. They could beat anyone out of the top top 6 out of the bottom 6 teams in the East. I mean, the top 3 is going to be a problem because of size and star power. But any other team that they play, they can beat. Hands down.
I think they got to reevaluate how they choose it because, like you said, MVP is selecting the most valuable player of the team.
Of course.
But it's a popularity contest with these guys. You know that.
Yeah.
As long as it's like that, then it's going to be political.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate it. You know what I'm saying? I hate it because I think that he really and truly deserves it. And when you say that in sports circles, people will laugh at you like, "Oh, this I don't know what you talking about. He don't know basketball, this, that, and the third." They'll talk crazy. But if the playoffs were to start today, the Knicks will be the 4th seed, right? So let's talk about some playoff scenarios. Like, who would you want to see them face in the playoffs if the playoffs started today? Because right now, we on target to play Atlanta 4 versus 5 seed. Who would you like to see?
I would rather that game, Atlanta. 4 versus 5 is a good spot. I think that's what they fighting for because we play Atlanta well. We just recently played Atlanta. Young is injured, you know, so we have some advantages right there. Even if he come back, he ain't going to be 100%. So, and I doubt if he be back. You know, I don't know. I didn't check the status on Young, but
he's good.
Okay, but he's not going to be 100% probably. You know, you got to be playing to be ready. That's what we said last show. Remember, the Knicks have a good going into the playoffs with this run. Even though we lost tonight, we still have that momentum we building off of because you can see how we played tonight. We had a lead. Phoenix just is a little better than us right now, to be honest.
Nah, they are. They got
and they coach well. You know.
Yeah, they got.
They kept playing.
They got a point guard that's worth 40-something million. You know what I mean? So they have that. They have the floor general that we don't have. But it's all good, man. I'm not worried about that. But you got to also look at the fact that if Atlanta slips and Boston slides into that 5th seed, we might have to play Boston. What you think about that matchup?
I don't like that matchup.
You don't like that matchup?
Not really, but you know, in basketball, because I feel like if we get out the first round, those young guys may start to feel, you know, have an energy with them, like how they feeling on the streak they was feeling for a while. They rode that high streak for a while. When you play ball, you know, you ride a streak for a while, you going in hot. You see how they shooting. Stills, they shooting. Even Randle shooting like he know it's going in.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The confidence, you see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely see the difference.
We're going to keep that going into the playoffs. We're not losing every game on this streak. So, you know, we may lose one. We're going to win a couple. We may lose one. We're going to win a few. Yeah. That's just how it's been. So we're going to go in still with a nice momentum, if you ask me.
I think it'll be a nice momentum. What the scenario that I don't want is, if we fall to 6, we're going to have to play either the Milwaukee Bucks or the Philadelphia 76ers. If we fall into that 7-8 slot, then now it's playoff. Now it's playing game status to where we can go from having this great season to playing on 1-game elimination college style tournament for the last 2 seeds in the East and lose, and the season to go right down the drain. So I kind of don't want that scenario because then even if we do win, we're going to have to face the number 1 seed, either Philly or Brooklyn at the end of the day, man. And, you know, I know a lot of fans want us to play Brooklyn out of emotion, but nah, we not ready for the Nets right now. I'm gonna be realistic. I'm not even gonna wear no orange and blue shades, kid. Like, that's a whole different animal with the star power that they have and the depth that they have. Like, even Blake Griffin is dunking again. You know what I mean? Like, so we not ready for that yet. I mean, yes, we play scrappy. Yes, we play hard. Thibodeau made up for about 50% of the wins that we did get this season because of coaching, but that's a whole different animal over there, man. I want to continue to enjoy this season and at least get a first round playoff victory out of this whole scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Word.
I understand.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, like we said earlier, we didn't expect to be where we are. So however it play out, we got to still know we had a great year. great season. Because when you know you're not winning the chip that year, even organizations go by this. They just go by growth. And we took a huge step. Fast. Now they talking about how we could do this. You just heard the bearded one say we could win if we add one piece. He talking rings. I ain't saying that fast, but
shout out to the bearded one for real.
Yeah, but it's true. I just don't like to say it too much because then people say I'm talking fast. Blah, blah. I know the game, so I fall back and relax. But I think they could win too with one piece because everybody else has a role, and you never know how the Knicks could beat you or they're gonna beat you. Let alone if we get Towns and Russell. I think they could fit.
Yeah,
because without Mitch right now, Noel's holding it down, and if Mitch were there, that would be double walls, and they'd be in more trouble.
That's a fact. But just going back to tonight's game, it was a lot on the line tonight, man. And I don't think a lot of people really paid attention to what was really on the line. You had RJ Barrett, who had a chip on his shoulder because he wasn't one of the top 25 players under 25 to make the list. But his opponent tonight, Mikal Bridges, was, and he came up with some big moments for Phoenix in this game. You know what I mean? So that was one aspect. Two, you had the duel of the coaches, because whenever we say Thibodeau is coach of the year, what's the first thing that everybody else says? Yo, you gotta look at what Monty Williams is doing in Phoenix, right? That was a chess battle, and the Knicks looked like they was going to just cruise to this one. They was up by 15 in the first half, blew the lead. At the end of the third quarter, the score was tied, and in the fourth quarter, we just ran out of gas. So that was great coaching and great adjustments by Monty Williams. But to me, that still doesn't take away from the job that Coach Tom Thibodeau did, and I still think that Coach Tibbs is the coach of the year. What's your thoughts on that?
I think, he definitely should be coach of the year. They're going to do the same. It's kind of close like we just was talking about with the MVP, kind of, because they both doing a great job. Like Phoenix, who would expect they would be in second? So, like you said, we can't wear our orange and blue shades. When it's like that, we got to call it like we see it. He's doing a great job, just like Tibbs. He's a younger coach that he was predicted to do good with that team, and he lived up to his expectations. So you got to tip your hat to Monty Williams. Shout out to him.
Now here's my argument on why Tibbs should still get it over Monty Williams, right? Who do we say was the biggest impact on this game tonight? Chris Paul, right?
Chris Paul
had the biggest impact on the game tonight. Never mind the fact that Devin Booker, all-star, had 33 points. Chris Paul was still their floor general and coach on the floor for the team tonight. They also have the number 1 overall pick from 2 seasons ago, DeAndre Ayton. They also have Mikal Bridges, who was a lottery pick 2 years ago as well. Like, so the Suns are kind of they are kind of loaded a little bit. It's a reason why they the number 2 team in the NBA, because they got talent.
Why they loaded though?
Huh?
Ayton is. No, I'm saying why you think they loaded, because they was losing for a long time. That's the point I was trying to make.
They played well in the bubble last year, and they didn't make it because they just started off slow.
No, I ain't talking about even recently. Like even when you go back when they got.
Why are they loaded? Oh,
because they was losing and they got drafts. They got. That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
So basically, you got to give them not like saying we got to see what they do. Yeah. Because to do that in the West, to go back at your point with Tibbs, to do that in the West, they may honor that more. Even though the Knicks was so bad, you have to give it to Tibbs because it's only Randle and other players that he's doing this with. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's just like that MVP race. It's debatable, it's called. I would call it debatable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Word.
I mean, I hope that they give it to Tibbs, man. Nobody mainstream, I should say, gave the Knicks a chance at doing anything. Yo, people laughed at us. They were saying, "Oh, Obi Toppin is a bust," and this, that, and the third, and our same old Knicks. You got Stephen A. even giddy now all over the place. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. It's like they trying to make a mockery out of the situation as well. Oh, we got a caller again. Ball Zones Radio, Knicks Talk Nation. Who's this?
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah, you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, what's going on?
There's a bearded one again. I'm sorry.
What's going on? Talk about it.
I believe that Tibbs should get Coach of the Year too.
And give us your point on why you think that.
I mean, he turned around the franchise.
Facts.
Think about this for a minute. When's the last time the Knicks was in playoff contention?
2012.
And not only was they not in playoff contention, they had went through a point in the beginning of last season in off season. Nobody wanted to even sign there.
That's a fact.
Nobody wanted to come there. They had money and everything.
That's a fact.
But now, because of his coaching, you got to watch how he's taking a team that was literally nowhere, that would have probably been not in the postseason, and they're going to be in the postseason. I think if anybody deserves Coach of the Year, it'd be him. It's not. Julius really just barely made All-Star this year, right or wrong?
Facts.
Can I rebuttal that?
If that's not coaching, I don't know what is.
Nah, it's definitely a lot of coaching. Go ahead.
I got a good answer for that.
Let's go.
Phoenix Suns and Monty Williams, he did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He did the same exact thing. You don't agree? You don't agree? I don't hear nobody saying
I'm just saying, you want to know why? Nah, you want to know why I don't want to agree? He has star players.
No. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on, real quick. Listen, Stills. The bearded one said Tibbs came there. He's a new coach, right? So just like in Phoenix, right? Paul just went there recently. He haven't been there long, right? And he got a bunch of young guys, and of course, he's getting them to play. He's a floor general, but that coach is really putting the whole team together. So, with that being said, the coach means a lot, and they have the similar situations from Phoenix and the Knicks. Excuse me.
But he got the talent, though. That's what I'm saying. Like he had,
and we don't.
He inherited Devin Booker. He inherited the number 1 overall pick, DeAndre Ayton. Like Ayton wasn't no bum at all. And then he got a star point guard in Chris Paul, even though he's a veteran. Everywhere he's been, he turned every team around. So he's a coach on the floor. He's just like what Jason Kidd was to the Knicks when the Knicks won 54 games, when Carmelo Anthony went bonkers that year.
But that's my point in saying that they have those picks because they were bad. They earned those picks. Phoenix was bad for a long time.
I get
now
it.
They're in second.
Yes.
That's not in the. All right. Another good point is this. Look, the West is more competition. Hold on. Where's competition? Is more competition in the West, right? Just because KD and them is in the East, the West still got more competition. So for him to do that in the West, that's another point you got to make for him. I'm not against Tibbs. I'm just trying to make a point that it's so close. But it's similar situations.
But my point is, Monty has the talent, though.
He does.
That voids that out because they in the West anyway. They have to compete over there anyway.
You still have a bona fide superstar in Devin Booker. You still have the number 1 overall pick who's not a bum in DeAndre Ayton, and you still have a Hall of Fame point guard on your team running the show. So I tell you what, Harwell.
If Tibbs wasn't doing as well as he's doing, then I could see it going to the Suns for the fact that they was definitely not projected to be number 2 in the West. That's a fact. But the way Tibbs is coaching these guys, it's like he just gave them a whole bunch of energy.
Come on.
So it's hard for me to say that he's a better coach.
It's going to boil down to, like we said, Stills, how they finish. Just like the MVP was close, we said. It's going to boil down to who finish off the best because they wait to make those decisions. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. Okay. Absolutely right.
So we have to wait and see how it play out. I hope Tibbs get it. I just was making a point how close it is. And now we have to watch and see if the Knicks drop or Phoenix drop.
So yeah. All right. So like I said, man, we having a contest, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get a winner a prize if they can predict how many games the Knicks will finish above 500.
So
you know what I'm saying? If everybody want to jump in, cash app us. You know what I'm saying? You see it on the screen. Bars News Radio, a little $10. That once the pot rises at the end of the season, we gonna give the person or persons that get it right a piece of that pie. You know what I mean? So
I hear that.
You know,
well, I'm gonna call in myself for now. That's too rich for my blood. Listen, you gentlemen have a good show, man.
Thanks for calling in.
All right, Harwell, take it easy, kid. Still, take it easy.
Peace. Yeah. Call in 516-206-0711. We live right now.
Word up, man. But again, I just think that to say Monty Williams, it's just like saying Harden should get MVP. It's like you got two other all-stars on your team. Like, you should look the way that you look. You got talent around you to make you enhance your skill set. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that Tibbs is working with a lot less. And even though the Knicks, even though the East, we got a caller. Bars News Radio, Knicks Talk Nation. Who's this?
D Flan calling in.
D Flan again. What's going on, bro? Talk about
it. What's up, brother?
You tell me.
You support us. I say, come support my brother on the way back.
I appreciate it, man. I hope you brought Queensbridge with you.
I got them tuning in, baby.
Oh, that's what's up. What's up?
Show sounds great.
Uh-huh.
Yo, Thibodeau was doing a fabulous job, man.
Talk about it, D.
Listen, he gave them confidence that they never had. He got them playing loose. And he ain't going to roll over, man.
Nah.
And he always been an excellent coach. I was listening to Jeff Van Gundy earlier. Everybody wanted to pigeonhole him, they said. Because they said, Boston never won a championship without Tibbs because of the defense. But this cat could coach.
Yes.
He coached in Chicago.
Yes.
He coached in Minnesota.
Yes.
And every time they got rid of him, they got worse. He coached you hard.
That's a fact.
But they appreciate that.
That's a fact.
That's why Jimmy Butler loved him.
Yes. Yes.
And this cat just gives them unbelievable confidence right now.
That's a fact. So D, who you think can fit coming in here in the offseason to add on to what New York is doing right now? Because every star can't play under Tibbs. But who you think could be a good fit?
I even think about it. I even get that far ahead to see, because I think they need a point guard, but then I like Quickly.
You think Quickly can handle it?
I mean, the chemistry is chemistry.
Yes, that's a fact.
You know, you can get a bunch of stars and the chemistry ain't working, and you ain't gonna win.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So their chemistry and they picked up Noel, and he's playing hard, and they still got Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
He's hurt, but
he's
doing a fabulous job. And like I said, I was on the Brooklyn Nets. But Knicks is playing, bro.
Yo, Flanagan, why you gonna do that, man?
But that's what I said. He said the same thing.
I'm just saying, I'm saying. Facts is facts. I'm looking at these cats the last 2 weeks since you was talking. I'm going, these dudes can play.
So hold on. I didn't hear that right. Did you say you was a Brooklyn fan? Now you a Knicks fan?
Now Flanagan,
no. But this is what I was saying. I was saying is that everybody said Nets or Knicks town. And I was siding with the Nets hard. I didn't think the Knicks was just ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, I don't think they're still on par to Nets, but they're further along than what anybody thought.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And he got them going in the right direction, and everybody in management, they pulling in the right direction. They got all the right guys, and their future looks bright too.
That's a fact. And it's real bright because we own all our future draft picks, first round and second round. We got cap space, and now the Knicks are becoming an attractive destination, and that's all they wanted, man. They got a good front office, so
because I'm not faulting how Brooklyn decided to do it. They said, "Yo, we're gonna get these cats and let's try to get the chip."
Yeah, but they
mortgaged their future. We got to start and build up.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Guys got to believe because we couldn't get anybody for years.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So I just wanted to say, yo, man, I'm impressed with the show. You had me just chomping at the bit. That's I got to call.
Yeah, I appreciate you, D, man. Thank you, man.
Thanks for
Yo, we
calling.
appreciate you, man. Keep doing what y'all doing, man.
All right, bro. Thank you for the
All right,
call,
have
man.
a good night.
All
Thank
right,
you, brothers.
Yep.
Peace,
All right,
brother.
all right, peace.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, man.
See,
So, I mean,
I said the same thing. I said we got to be careful who we put in because of
Yeah.
our chemistry. And I said
Yeah.
quickly, he's still a rookie.
uh-huh.
And I was kind of saying what he just said. Be careful who we mix now because then we mess with his development, with Quickly's development, because he's playing so well, so fast. That's what we got to factor in at. This man hitting tray bombs. Is he a point guard fully? We got to wait and see because we now with the NBA being the way it is, we could use a point guard that could shoot.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
And with Tibbs, make a coach him to be the point guard that he want him to be. With Derrick Rose, like the caller just said, he made a good point, and that's what I was saying. And we be careful who we mix in. I think it's very, very important to not mess up the chemistry that we have flowing. Too much is going to mess it all up. It could, I mean. One more piece could mess it up if it's not the right piece. That's why we keep saying, what piece? And nobody knows.
It has to be a point guard. It has to be a point guard that can control the flow and the flow of the offense, man, like Chris Paul displayed tonight.
Kyle Lowry.
I don't know.
He's not gonna lose the ball though. Is he better than Peyton?
We need somebody young though, Hardwell.
He is. Okay.
Yeah, we need somebody young.
But look at Chris Paul. He ain't young.
I mean, but hey, he's the rule. I'm talking about for what we doing right now. We have to.
I think we mix the old. But we got mainly young players.
Yeah.
If we get one more player like that, Lowry, I think that we could learn from and not come in and make our other players like shy away from what they doing. Kind of, sort of. I think why I said maybe Lowry. Because some other players come in and change our culture and we don't need too much. Look, we didn't expect to be here, we said. Stills?
I mean, I did. That was y'all.
Call in. 516-206-0711 if you want to be on air with us, talk about the Knicks. That's the only reason I went live for. Call in 516-206-0711.
Now, and I'm glad you said what you said because it sounded like you want the Knicks to do what they did back in 2012, the 54-win season, the Melo-led Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So let's do a little comparison, man. You know, there's been a lot of debate, especially on social media, comparing the 2012 Knicks that won 54 games to this current team that Julius Randle is going berserk on. You know, both teams were successful, but what are the main differences between those two teams? I'm gonna let you go first. We got about 12 minutes left in the show. Okay.
The main difference is, right, we have some good younger pieces now. And I think with Tibbs, he's preaching defense and teamwork. Like I said about on the last show, how the game is changing more and more every night. Yeah. And coaches are smart. They're trying to find a different way to win. Like he said it when he called in. We said, we're going to go this way. Everybody's spending all their money. Let's go this way and go through the draft. So that's the same thing we kind of doing with our team. 100%. We sticking to playing real team ball and passing it to the open man, moving out the way and playing defense. 100%. They believing in the system. So to me, this team is younger and they believing in the coach a lot. So I like this team.
You like this team better? All right.
Yeah. Because we know what Melo was going to do. We didn't know what Randle was going to do. So we got to give him more credit than Melo. Melo was supposed to do that. After all the players we gave up for him.
Yo, all right. And now, all right. I like what Julius is doing, but people fail to realize that or remember that Melo led the league in scoring that year. They also won 54 games. They won 13 straight games that season. And that was their first playoff appearance since the Marbury era when Marbury came to the Knicks fresh off of that Phoenix trade and led us to the playoffs. That was the last time we made the playoffs before that 54-win team that made it to the semifinals and lost to the Indiana Pacers. You know what I mean? So Melo played a big role that year. Even though, yes, we had Jason Kidd, We had a bunch of old guys like Kurt Thomas. I think Marcus Camby came back. We ended up getting Kenyon Martin. You know what I mean? That team really was heavily relying on Carmelo Anthony. The same as Julius Randle. Randle made his first All-Star appearance this year. The Knicks are on pace to win 40 games, and they can possibly get home court advantage in the playoffs. Julius is a legit candidate for most improved player. Definitely a candidate for MVP. And like I said earlier, the Knicks are ranked the number 10 in the top 10 of the ESPN's power rankings. Like, we can't even talk about the last time that happened. You know what I mean? So I got to give Julius Randle his credit for the impact that he's had on the team this year. But a lot of the credit has to go to Tom Thibodeau, man. And this is why I think that he deserves Coach of the Year, hands down. I don't think anybody else is in the same league. They bringing up who else outside of Monty Williams? They tried to say who else is having a decent season this year, man.
I know you're talking about the Atlanta Hawks coach,
Nate McMillan. Well, he came in after the fact and took over. So I don't think that he coached enough games to be in consideration, but it was somebody else that they were saying that deserved the accolades because of what he did. But that's neither here nor there, man.
All right, we second in defense also.
Yes.
So you got to give Tibbs credit for that too.
On. He transformed the defense, and that's what made Phoenix transform as well, because they're also top 3 in defense in the.
See, you keep finding close comparisons with them too. So that's why I try to say the orange and blue. They like us over there. They kind of similar. They got a lot of, they got more stars than us, but they barely could beat us. Think about that.
That makes a big difference, though, man. Star power is everything, man. And
I think, but not to cut you, Stills, it is a big thing. But we talked about this too. Wouldn't you be happy? You happier in this position knowing we still got money over there? We didn't spend it, and our young guys and guys that we got for the low is playing like this.
Yeah.
Even though Julius deserves his money. Yeah. We still got a lot of money, and they already worried about us. They barely beating us. I'd rather be in that position if you ask me.
Nah, I believe you. And I agree, because we got so much flexibility, and we own Dallas's pick in this upcoming draft. So we got 2 first-round picks coming this offseason. So the Knicks can add some talent, but the only thing is that the talent pool coming out of college isn't as great as it should be, but we can still add some quality pieces. But after tonight's game, the most glaring weakness that we had is starting point guard play, because like I said, Derrick Rose came in, he gave the Knicks a great game, but he couldn't last the whole fourth quarter. And after a while, he ran out of gas, and they didn't even bother to go back to Peyton or any of those other guys, man. They kind of roll the dice with Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? Crazy. And that's not good.
No, it's not.
That's not good. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, man, you can't discredit what the Knicks have done. Can't discredit the job that Tibbs has done, man. And I'm just excited to see where, the rest of the season goes, man. You know what I mean?
I know one thing.
What's that?
Tibbs got to be careful, because he's trying to keep that streak and get us in a nice spot. But these guys are tired, like you just said, honestly.
Yeah.
And really, I think I was on the show, and we was talking about how these games that's coming up aren't like Houston, certain games where he need to rest Randle, because we can let Toppin and other guys play and just rest those guys on those easy games. Now, we should be able to beat Houston. They already put out certain teams ain't even making the playoffs. Yeah. If we playing one of those teams, I think Randle should get rest. Derrick Rose definitely needs rest, right?
Yes.
So, come on, Stills. They got Thibodeau better chill and get them guys some rest. He's running his horses all the way from the barn house to the game.
For real, but that's how he's always coached that way, man. And
but he got to let off the gas a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, and Randle looked a little tired today, man, or he just wasn't. He was out of it. I think he was settling a lot, man. He was settling for a lot of those fall away jump shots today, man, that they just wasn't going in. They took a lot of questionable shots in the second half, man. There wasn't no real flow to their offense, man. They just played scrappy. But and they was tired. So
he tired. You could tell he tired when he not even breathing hard tired. He the lazy body tired. You know what I mean, D? When your body just feel like he tired. He need a break. Randle need a break. Rose need a break.
Yeah.
And all these other teams is giving their players break. When are we gonna get a break?
But you got to remember, we don't have the luxury to rest
True.
players. This load management doesn't apply to the Knicks because we already short on talent. And again, these other teams like the Brooklyns, the Philadelphias, the Milwaukees, they can afford the rest. Like Milwaukee can afford the rest Giannis because they got Drew Holiday and a lot of those other role players over there in Milwaukee to still pick up the slack. Middleton, they still got two. You know what I mean? Brooklyn, of course, they could rest 2 out of the 3, and they still got a decent team to put around any one of those guys and win. Kyrie took his turn, KD took his turn, and Harden showed you that he could run that team without any of those guys in the lineup. So, those teams have luxuries to rest guys, man. We don't. We got to scrap for every little thing, and this is why we're here today, man. And this is why I just can't wait till the postseason comes, man, to see who our opponent is, because I really and truly think that we can definitely sneak a playoff win in the first round out, and that'll make our destination even more attractive for years to come, man. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
We come to the end of another show. You know what I mean?
Great show.
Some parting words for the people, man, closing out this show, man, so we can keep it moving.
Yeah, it was a great show tonight. We took a loss, but like I said, Knicks fans, you got to think about, be optimistic about where we are as far as you not expecting us to be on a 9-game win streak.
That's a fact.
And I know, like I said earlier on, when you see a little progress, you want a lot more progress. But give the young guys a chance to develop and just be proud that we in a great seed. We in the playoffs, Some of you guys, besides Stills, didn't predict that we was going to do this.
Telling you.
Be honest. So let's be real. Pump your brakes, And another thing, Stills, I want to say, a lot of teams is doing this, sitting players and resting players because they dodging certain opponents, wanting to fall a couple games. I don't want to play them in the first round type of stuff. We not doing that.
Nope, we taking them as they come. Knock them down as they come. Word up, man.
That's a fact. That's my take on it.
On that note, all I got to say is MVP for Julius Randle, and Coach of the Year for Tom Thibodeau, and Rookie of the Year for Emmanuel Quickly. So on that note, Steals the Great.
Hardware. I second that motion.
Knicks Talk Nation Radio. We'll check you out next week. Don't forget, download the Bars and Hoops radio app for Apple and Android users, and check us out every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for live shows and great content on Bars and Hoops Radio. So on that note, we say peace.
Peace.
I mean, that's a no-brainer because they have, multiple pieces, and they have a great
Orange and blue, better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York, New York York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York. New York City where it's gritty. NYC. For my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me. Down at the Garden, MSG be live. The Knicks are back and it's time. The Razor banner next to Ewing's retired. 33, not degrees, it's Novocaine shooting threes. Wrap the belt around his waist, he got the cannon set to squeeze. From downtown, forget the mound of rebound. He said New York is whack, a proven fact, so Charles is a clown. My squad stacked, that's a fact, and we built for combat. Some of you cats and commentators, we straight haters like Shaq. I dunk on you like Stat, then it's a rap with Coach Woody at the helm and Jason Kidd got his back. With Shumpert Smith on standby to attack, so watch your back on alley-oops, protect your dome, I share a poster with cats. The brother Mello, he go hard in the paint. They playing deep, but they can't contain the boy as Willie Ball in the paint. Takes more than Jay for you to be the toast of the town. It's Knickerbocker basketball, the greatest city around. This for my city, New York. New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York. New York City where it's gritty. NYC. For my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me. Now we got the Nets that move into town. New York and Brooklyn showdown, but NYC has always been a Knick town. Orange and blue, we rock the colors with pride. Let's take it back to Walt Clyde and Earl LeBron going to work on you guys. The UN era was live. It started in 85. The Twin Towers would devour you guys. R.I.P. to Dick the Butcher. We can never overlook a Knick legend up in heaven smiling down on our future. Bernard King, he was a scoring machine. He was a human wrecking ball, straight up destroying your team. There was no defense you could draw in the scheme. From post-game to mid-range, you had no chance. He would just shatter your dreams. Rod Strickland, Action Jackson, John Starks, he played with passion. Larry Johnson, Oak and Mason did a lot of party crashing. On any team who tried to step to NY. And if you put the jersey on, you better rock it with pride. This for my city, New York. New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York. New York City where it's gritty. NYC. For my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me.
We all have the same goal, and that's to try to win a championship.